Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a world where the deadliest substances on the planet are being turned into life-saving medicines. We're unlocking the secrets of venom.
So let's just start with that idea for a second. What if the very thing that we're hardwired to fear could actually hold the key to our healing? Well, this isn't some sci-fi movie plot, it's the real, cutting edge of pharmacology, and it's happening right now in one of the most biodiverse places on Earth.
And our guide for this whole journey is a really fascinating scientific review from 2022. It carefully lays out the incredible path from arthropod venom all the way to patented medical innovations. Now, this work was led by a team in Brazil, and the last author, Alessandro Matavel, is from the renowned Ezequiel Diaz Foundation.
Okay, so here's our roadmap. First, we'll look at why Brazil is ground zero for this research. Then, we're going to meet the venomous stars of the show. We're talking spiders, scorpions, you name it. And finally, we'll dig into the gap between these amazing discoveries and the medicines that actually make it to us.
So let's start with the big picture. Brazil is home to something like 15 to 20% of all cataloged species on the entire planet. That immense biodiversity is, and I mean this literally, a treasure chest of unique molecules. It's the perfect natural laboratory for this kind of research.
And yet, with all that incredible potential, when you look at the field of medically important arthropods, it has so far led to just 34 patents. 34, filed up to the year 2021. And that's a surprisingly small number, right? And it brings up a huge question that we're going to come back to. Why aren't there more?
Now, if you break down those 34 patents, you see a clear winner. Spiders are the undisputed champions here. They account for 20 of them. That's almost 60%. And as we're about to find out, one specific type of spider is really responsible for the lion's share of all that innovation.
So, it's time to meet our star, the Phoneutria genus, which you probably know as the Brazilian wandering spider. Yep, its venom is famously potent, but for scientists, it is an absolute goldmine.
And this explosion of research didn't just happen randomly. A massive chunk of this pioneering work can be traced right back to one powerhouse research group. They're at the Federal University of Minas Gerais, or UFMG, and they're led by Dr. Maria Helena de Lima. Her team's work is truly foundational to this whole field.
So the story really kicks off with a problem. In this case, it's a specific neurotoxin called PNTX2-6. Now, this is the compound in the venom that causes really severe pain, and one of the bite's most, let's say, infamous and unusual symptoms, priapism. And this is where the science gets really, really cool. It perfectly shows the elegance of modern pharmacology. Researchers didn't just use the toxin. They took it apart, they isolated the dangerous molecule, figured out the tiny active part that caused the effect they wanted, and then they built a totally new synthetic version called PNP19 that kept the benefit but got rid of the toxicity. Just brilliant.
And the results are, well, they're staggering. This one synthetic peptide born from a spider's bite is now a really promising treatment for erectile dysfunction. It's also a potential new kind of painkiller that works on opioid receptors, and it even shows promise for treating glaucoma. It is a true multi-tool of medicine.
But PNTX2-6 is just one ingredient in the wandering spider's complex venom cocktail. Other toxins are being looked at for treating chronic pain, for protecting neurons in our brain and our retinas, and even for developing a new generation of bioinsecticides. It's just proof of the incredible molecular library that's hidden inside this single venom.
Okay, so the wandering spider might be the star of the show, but it has a really formidable supporting cast. Let's widen the lens a bit to some other arachnids that are driving innovation.
So next up, you've got the Loxosceles, or brown spider. It's known for its flesh-damaging venom, so yeah, a lot of the research is about creating better antivenoms. But scientists are also exploring its parts for other uses, including one amazing study where they actually fused a brown spider toxin with a snake venom component to create a hybrid molecule that can specifically target tumor cells.
And of course, we have to talk about the infamous widow spider. So far, only one patent has come out of its venom, and it's for something you would never expect, a peptide that has spermicidal properties for use as a contraceptive. And beyond that, other research suggests its toxins could one day help our nerve endings regenerate after being paralyzed by something like botulinum toxin.
All right, let's leave the world of eight-legged wonders for a minute and see what cures are taking flight, or maybe crawling, from Brazil's huge insect population. So while spiders are in a whole league of their own, scorpions are the clear runner-up here with 7 patents. After that, we have wasps and caterpillars tied with 3, and then a single patent from bees. Every single one represents a unique biochemical pathway with just incredible potential.
And just look at the sheer variety from scorpion venom. You've got peptides to lower blood pressure, others that act like tiny little delivery trucks to carry drugs right into a cell's nucleus, enzymes being tested for cosmetic uses, and a whole family of antimicrobial peptides that could become our next generation of antibiotics.
The rest of the insect world brings its own unique skills to the table. Bee venom, or apitoxin, is patented for its powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Wasp venom has given us peptides that could protect neurons and relieve pain. And a protein from the Lonomia caterpillar has been patented for its amazing ability to help repair tissues and heal wounds.
Okay, so we have seen an absolutely incredible range of potential cures, all coming from some of nature's most feared creatures. And this brings us to the really big takeaway from all this amazing discovery.
First things first, the review makes one thing crystal clear. Brazil is a global leader in this field. Its scientific community are true pioneers. They have a massive number of published articles that really lay the groundwork for understanding these super complex venoms.
And that brings us right back to the question we started with, and the central paradox of this whole story. On one hand, you have this huge scientific output, all this expertise. And on the other hand, you have that small number, just 34 patents. There's a really big gap between the foundational research and the intellectual property you need to turn it into a product for the real world.
So, this leaves us with a critical question. The venoms of Brazil are without a doubt a goldmine of medical potential. But bridging that gap from a discovery in a lab to a treatment in a pharmacy is a long and complicated journey. Figuring out how to navigate that journey, well, that's going to be the key to unlocking this incredible natural treasure trove for all of us.